You know, dock fishing doesn't take a whole lot of equipment, but you really need the appropriate and proper equipment to be able to fish the docks. One of the good things you need is a boat. It doesn't have to be a big boat. Matter of fact, a smaller boat is easier to get around the docks and work the docks. You need a good trolling motor that allows you to control the boat to get around the docks and so forth. That's real important. But when it comes to rod and reels, you need some basic things, but some strong basic information on them. One is an open face works real well. You need something that won't tangle. When you cast an open face, because you're going to flip and pitch this bait back into the dock, and you're going to want to feather that in because it's going to skip across the water, and that you don't want to have a tangled mess. Like a bait caster is not effectively good in this to use. But you can with the open face like this, you cast it, hold your finger on there, and then be able to reel it right back up. So an open face works pretty darn well. You need a pretty stout 6.5 foot. You can use it even a little smaller, maybe a 5.5 foot at now and then when you want them close to docks. It gives you good control. It's what you get used to, what you're comfortable with, because you're going to have to get real good to be able to use the dock, get the skipping and flipping down pat. Another reel to use, and what I use is this Abreu Garcia. It works like an open face, works as effective like a spin cast. It works absolutely great. What it allows me to do is, just like an open face, instead of having to flip over, push the button, it goes right in my finger, and I can feather that line out. I don't get a tangle. The bait can skip across the water. It doesn't get tangled up in my reel. I don't have any spools sticking out, little lines sticking out. Again, 10, 12, 14 or higher pound test line. Don't go too high on clear lakes and so forth. Use good judgment, but no less than 10, because you are going to have something. Abrasive resistant line is always good. Again, a 6.5 foot is what I'm using here. One that you got good control, that you can skip it and flip it back in there. And a relatively fast pickup reel is real important, because when that bass hits that bait, he goes back and gets tangled up in everything he possibly can, and you need to pick up the line slack quickly. And often you're fishing with the slack line, so you need to be able to spool it up really quick. Now another reel that is a Zebco. You know, the basic Zebco, and in just about any form from the 144 up will work real well. This happens to be a Zebco spin cast reel here that's much like an open face. It's got a trigger action here that I can cast it out there and stop. Don't have to worry about spool problems, spinning around or anything like that. You can catch them, reel them right back up. Same way, easy to work with. Again, pretty stout rod, so you can pull them out of the line, pull that fish out of the dock in that finesseful way. I tell you what, don't take a lot of equipment, but you gotta have equipment that you're used to, that you effectively can use to be able to get that bait skipped, flipped, and pitched back into those dark areas, so that when that bass comes up, smacks that fish. Oh man, you had fun getting them out of there.